There we go. Hey, hi. Thanks so much, everyone. Real quick, there's a few people that I'd like to bring up on stage who helped craft what you saw and also the other films. First off, where's Luke? Luke Geissbuhler, our cinematographer, DP for all three of the films of the trilogy. Luke was also the cinematographer of the Borat film, so the last time, actually he was in this theater when Borat premiered here. Let's also bring up Shelby Siegel, one of the editors of the film. Shelby also edited HELVETICA. Michael, her husband, is the other editor, and then Sydney, their 6-month-old son, was
sleepy backstage.
Was born during the edit, so he's kind of like the third editor of the team. We also have Noah Chasin from the film. Noah, come on up. And also Pamela Chowski, who's one of our associate producers. So come up to Pamela. Thanks again.
So we have a brief time for Q&A, and I imagine this conversation will spill out onto the sidewalk afterwards. But throw up your hands for questions, and let's get a couple from the audience. Yes, you there, ma'am.
Can I just ask the mayor to stand up? I'm sure the mayor is here.
Is Rob Ford here in the building? Doug, are you here? Neither of you are here? Tweedledum nor Tweedledee. I think he left really quickly at the end.
Another question? Who's got a question? Yeah, you, sir. Yep, you.
I think I can say on behalf of everybody, we laughed, we cried, we love this movie.
Oh wow, thank you very much. Thank you.
Incredible examples of positive, the mayor of Bogota, I mean, what a gem.
Yeah, Enrique Peñalosa. Isn't he awesome? He's actually running again right now. He's the front runner to be mayor again in Bogota. The elections are next month, so keep an eye on these.
My question is, and it is premature since this is the first screening too, is this should be seen by every citizen of every city, especially Toronto right now. So I don't know if anybody here has any way of ensuring that, but I'm going to sure work to make sure that maybe our councillor is willing to show it throughout our ward. It's fantastic.
Great.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, well, I think we try to talk about that a little bit in the film, and we've shown some of the things like, you know, the Chinese cities that are there too. Yeah, it's, you know, we're trying to look at some of the creative solutions that were going on. I know that it's usually not the case that things are done right, but I think that you can find negative examples pretty much everywhere you look. I won't talk about Toronto unless you guys want me to. Toronto? Right here, the waterfront development plan. Like, this city really needs a mega mall and a giant Ferris wheel on the waterfront. Yeah. There is a great project I just saw today on Dundas, that little street market, the one they're building out of shipping containers and the sidewalk. See, that's like what the city needs more of, not, and like, yeah. Don't get me started on the bike lanes. It's just ridiculous.
This gentleman here in blue.
The question was, how did we locate the people in the film? For about 6 months before I started filming, it took 2.5 years to make the film. For about 6 months, I really kind of met with architects and planners and other people involved, and just started, you know, getting kind of ideas about who would be exceptional people to profile. Pamela was also at that point with the Urbanized project in London, and we met at a conference in 2009, and Pamela has, you know, helped advise on that too. But it's a lot of just, I mean, I have like Google news alerts for every kind of city thing you could think of, like zoning, controversy, city, just all those things. I probably get 100 alerts a day. there's just so much going on, so it's impossible to try to cover it all in an 85-minute film. Because it's constantly evolving. So we tried to, get people that we thought were doing interesting work and who could speak to it. And it's always, you interview someone and they say, oh, you've got to talk to young Gail in Copenhagen because he's got some great ideas, and we just chained it together. So.
Maybe we can hear from some of your guests about what their reactions to the film.
Noah hasn't seen the film yet. So.
Well, I certainly would echo the sentiments of the gentleman in the back there, which is it's an extraordinarily important film, regardless of where you stand on different issues, to be able to enter into a dialogue, to be informed and to be aware of what the situation is that we're facing as an increasingly urbanized world, I think is really, really critical. And that's something that I would, for obvious reasons, I think this is a really important film, and I would agree that everybody should go out and see it.
I echo that. I would also add, relative to the conversation about how did you find these people, they've been talking to each other. There's a great network of really inspired urbanists who've been doing great work in the city, but now that half of the population is urban, the real issue is the public has to get involved. So I think that's what Gary's film accomplishes. It's not just seeing the film, it's actually feeling motivated to make change.
Time for a couple more questions. You, sir.
One of the questions I have is about the way that raising ocean levels is affecting local cities. And I know you dealt with creating subjects, but I didn't see that. You see how you put that on purpose?
There's a whole other documentary called The Island President playing this weekend that you should make sure to see.
Yeah, I mean, I think you talked about it in the section about sustainability, and it's again, there's too much to talk about in one film. So I think that's sustainable cities and smart city design and energy use is something that affects not only climate change and rising ocean levels, but just so many other factors. So, but yeah, like as Tom said, there are other documentaries specifically about that too.
I'll let a man or woman ask a question right there.
Well, all the films, the question was what stage is distribution at? All the films we've released independently, just through our own distribution company. So we'll have an art house cinema release and television broadcasts and DVD release and iTunes. You'll be able to get them on iTunes Canada and a lot of other outlets. So we tend to just do it ourselves. I don't really usually go through the kind of normal channels of distribution for the films. But if you check out the website or follow me on Twitter, you'll get all the updates for how it's getting out in the world.
Right.
One more question. You, sir, in the black.
Yeah, so I have this objection about HELVETICA. What I found was very different in this movie from HELVETICA. The overall vision here is much more of a manifesto. HELVETICA was just kind of showing the world of high designers and what issues. This kind of shows the vision. And what was fascinating is that one point,
Gary's about to have a child in December, so he may really get to understand the appeal of the soccer.
I'm not physically going to have it. My girlfriend who's here is going to have it. I think it was like I didn't think of it as a manifesto against suburbanization, and I was trying to show a couple different sides for that, and I think it's about personal choices. I don't want to tell someone that what's the right way to live or what's the wrong way to live. But if there are kind of direct kind of environmental and infrastructural costs to it, it's going to have to be that's going to have to be addressed, and definitely moving forward.
We have to take this conversation out into the streets where it belongs.
I do a couple trivia though. Couple trivia things. Luke and Shelby, but who also both work with me on Helvetica. That last shot of the subway through Manhattan, that was actually from the first day that Luke and I shot together on Helvetica. But this sort of something we shot at the very end of the day, and we never used it in the film, and I kind of dug it up, and you know, yeah, 6 years ago, yeah, that was the first day that we even shot together. And it's the G train, which is the one we take to our studio. That was in such a good. And also, Oscar Niemeyer, 104 years old next month. At one point I had, in his little title, I had 104 years old, exclamation point. But Shelby like vetoed that. But I mean, it's amazing to be working and
The version I saw had that exclamation mark. That's what got this film into the festival.
oh my God, I take it out.
You're the first audience to see this film. It's in your hands now. Go on Twitter.
Thanks so much, everyone.
Thank you very much. Gary Hustwit.